This is Andrew for the Chosen Prime with a video review of MakeToys MCB-03P Devil Stinger. Devil Stinger is a redeco reuse of their previous Citybot release Pandinus. Pandinus was their updated take on a G1 Scorponok, and so this is their take on an updated Black Zarak. If you're not familiar with the character, he was a Decepticon who was from the Japanese G1 toy line and cartoon Super-God Masterforce, where he was one of the main bad guys. The original G1 toy was a version of G1 Scorponok, done up in these colors of gold, black, and red. But the original G1 toy is actually quite rare due to the original G1 toy having gold-pastic-syndrome with all these gold plastic bits, where the original G1 toy would fall apart real easily just because of how it was produced. And so here, this homage is a very rare kind of reuse of that mold. Devil Stinger does have different remolded parts from Pandinus, and we'll get to some of the details in a little bit. But core things are, he's got a new head, he's got a new main stinger up here, larger claws, as well as the Black Zarak Tyrant Spear here. You can see he's got this spear, and he can use this as both a weapon as well as part of his stinger. So let's go ahead and take a look at some closer up detail here for Devil Stinger. Taking a closer look here at Devil Stinger's upper half, you can see he's got a lot of nice detail, paint, and different plastic colors up top. They all match the base mold that came with Pandinus, just now in these newer colors. Core things that are different, of course, are that orange clear plastic that was on Pandinus is now this nice bright red. He is the same overall height as Pandinus. So from his feet to essentially where I have the stinger here, he's about 20 inches, but he can stand taller or be set up either way. So he's a very tall figure. He's also very heavy. He's 7 pounds, 8 ounces. There's a lot of plastic you're getting with this figure, and very solidly built. Taking a look at his back, you can see the same detail. It kind of goes all around this figure. Again, just very nice bits of engineering and detail throughout. Here you can see how Devil Stinger's stinger is a bit different than what it was on Pandinus. Has the same nice bits of soft and hard ratchets to be able to move the stinger and point it. So you've got options as far as how you want to pose it. But then if you'd like, you can actually take his Tyrant Spear here, and if we collapse it all the way, if you look, there's a clear piece here, and there's a hollow bit underneath here. So there's actually a ratchet piece here, we ratchet like this, and then we feed the main stinger kind of over the Tyrant Spear over the stinger, and so you can actually hold that stinger all the way onto his back as you want, and you get the same nice poseability overall. And you can extend and collapse the stinger if you like. So same nice play pattern that was on Pandinus, where Pandinus had the gun. Now you've got this Tyrant Spear to be able to put here. As far as poseability for this upper half, again, it's the same as Pandinus. These guns can move side to side. These shoulder pieces can rotate. These missile pods can rotate. The head can rotate on a pivot joint, and it can actually look up and down on a hinge. And there's actually a panel here that the neck is on that can look up and down if you want a little bit more play. And then just like Pandinus, and we'll get to some details here for the Headmaster, he got the same nice clear ponytail piece here. You can take this chest piece here to give him like his little scope, if you want to have him look through a scope. And then the same nice ratchets present here on Devil Stinger as they were on Pandinus. So as far as the arms, you have a ratchet, nice and solid, around this way. You've got an outward joint here to lift the arm up. And then if we were to shift this piece up and out of the way, we have another joint due to the scorpion piece where you can get the arm even further. And you can see how nice and stiff this is. And it feels like the joints overall are not as tight or as tough to use as they were on Pandinus, but just as solid as far as holding them together. He's got a ratchet at the elbow there, or the bicep. Ratcheted elbow. Taking a closer look at his claw or hand here, it does have a soft ratchet that you can rotate the claws around on. The bigger claws here are on ball joints, so they have a lot of play as far as moving them, and they've got an individual joint to be able to bring them inward and outward, as well as his middle claw. His claws are actually a bit bigger than they were on Pandinus. You actually take this piece off here, slide it off, and this was Pandinus' original kind of claw size, so you can see how much more they've added by adding these additional pieces here. Just like Pandinus, if you like, you can open up the arm here, so we'll slide this panel off from the shield. And it just slides off on this little channel here that matches a peg here on the arm. And we can open up the arm here and pull the claw off, and he does have the robot mode hands, kind of regular kind of robot mode hands here, that just like what Pandinus had. Does a little bit odd here on Black Zarak to have these tiny hands, but you do have that option. Taking a closer look at his middle torso here, you see again lots of nice detail. Here on his legs, you can see there's some nice silvery blue that they've added as an alternate color. These scorpion legs here in the back are on ball joints, all 8 of them, and so they can move inward and outward if you'd like. As far as poseability for the inner torso here, he does have a ratcheting kind of upper body, so you can have him twist at the torso. And then mostly due to his transformation into his different modes, he does actually have an ab crunch. So if we lift up on this panel here, you can see he's got an ab crunch, and so you can have him crunch down and be a little bit more hunched if you like. Nice little option there for Devil Stinger. Devil Stinger can hold his Tyrant Spear in his hand, in this clawed hand. So to come up to the Stinger and to remove it, just kind of lift up on the back of it, and it'll kind of unhook and pop off of his Stinger up here. And we can take this, again, ratchet it. Just to show off real quick, you can actually extend the Stinger quite a bit. This is all like metal, actually. But there's thinner parts, and then there's a thicker part here on the spear. And so on his clawed hand here, there's a little like a circular spot where you can peg in the spear, and you can hold the spear nice and securely in his hand. And you actually can have him hold it above his head and do some really cool poses. And I'll show that off in a second. Taking a closer look at the detail for his legs and feet, you can see the same nice monstrous detail that was on Pandinus. You got some nice ratchets, nice bits of red plastic, gold, red little spines on his toes here. As far as poseability of the legs, very strong ratchet, so he's got a ratchet outward and inward. The thigh can rotate at a ratchet. He does have double jointed knees. Both of these points have a ratcheted joint, so you can bend it there as well as there. The feet, you can see have ankle tilts here on the back, and they actually match with the pistons. So as you're rotating the feet, these pistons follow to kind of keep the poseability there, and then he's got a ratchet inwards and outwards on the feet. Again, very heavy figure, very solid as far as all his parts, kind of hard to pose on camera. So let me go ahead and show off some poses, just some example poses for this guy. Here's a basic standing pose where he's kind of looking just at attention and more regal with the spear. And even though it's not dynamic, all his design aesthetic and overall look and how just menacing he is, he just looks really cool and very intimidating even in this basic standing posture. And here's an example pose for Devil Stinger, kind of utilizing all his different joints and ratchets and everything. You can see very nice detail, same great poseability that was on Pandinus, present here in Devil Stinger. You can see how he can hold the entire length of his spear here. From tip to tip, fully extended, is 29 inches. And again, with the different ratchets, his waist swivel, the longer claws, the new Stinger, just a really solid looking version here of Black Zarak. Now I'm not going to show off the transformation for Devil Stinger here, just to do how complex it is and for brevity. If you want to see his full transformation, I recommend watching our Pandinus video, because essentially it's the same transformation between his Scorpion and his Temple/Base mode. But I will show off his Headmaster here. So Black Zarak or Devil Stinger's Headmaster Rioter is actually completely new. The helmet is completely new, as well as the face mask. And again, you can see how it can rotate on that joint and look up and look down, and then if you use this panel here, you can kind of come up and come down. But one thing to note when you're transforming a Devil Stinger here is that the head actually lock, unlike Pandinus, it actually locks into place, and so you kind of have to pull out. It's a bit tougher to pull it out of the face, and then the same token, putting it back. So when you're putting it back, put the little chin piece over the red bits, and then make sure that the hands and this top part fully lock in. You can see how it snaps, and that's how you get the Headmaster in. So let's take a closer look at the detail for this little Headmaster here. And here's a closer look at his Headmaster. This overall face mask is a little bit different than it was on Pandinus, but it is the same overall transformation. So when it is in this mode, the arms do lock with little tabs into the legs here, but to get him into his robot mode, just untab those legs, fold them out, rotate his waist, and then this little ponytail piece here will rotate around, and then the head actually rotates separate from that. And so here is Devil Stinger's little Headmaster in his robot mode. Nice little bonus piece here. Ball jointed arms with elbows. The head can rotate, and it's got a little bit of paint on it. The legs on ball joints, and then you can bend the knee. And then, like Pandinus, you can transform this into a little scorpion figure. So we take the back legs here, and we want to fold them up and over on the back of the face, kind of covering much of the face. And then the arms here, they're on little ratchet or hinges that rotate forward on each side. So unpeg them from the side of the robot mode, push the arms forward. And unlike Pandinus, this really doesn't cover the face fully, but it does kind of cover it. But you do get the little scorpion mode here. He's got, with the chest detail here, he's got some little legs. So you do have a little scorpion if you'd like to use them. So let's go ahead and take a look at his scorpion mode for overall Devil Stinger. And so here is Devil Stinger in his scorpion mode, which is essentially the same as it was for Pandinus. And again, if you need assistance with this transformation, I do recommend watching the Pandinus video for the transformation instructions, because that's where I've covered it. It's a bit easier to see on the green version of the figure versus this gray version. But you can see that it's a very, very nice and giant robotic scorpion mode. Lots of nice detail, just like Pandinus. A lot of different options as far as rotating the claws in the front here with all these different joints that are ratcheted in multiple ways. So you have options of kind of situating him that way. Again, his stinger's a little bit different, so we can take the Tyrant Spear here, just like we did in his robot mode, just feed it over the bigger stinger here. So you can have him have the spear as his scorpion stinger. And then similarly to Pandinus here, Devil Stinger does have the cockpit where you can have the Headmaster right inside. So overall, really nice, large, impressive version of Black Zarak's Scorpion mode here, overall from Devil Stinger. And then here's just a quick detour to show off how you can get his Scorpion mode to get some pretty cool scenes here, holding other figures, moving where the stinger points, and then where the claws go. Overall, just great posability overall from this figure. And so here's Devil Stinger in his base mode. Again, I've covered his transformation into this mode in the Pandinus video, so if you need help, watch that one. But here you can see he's a very tall, massive base / temple. He's about 25 inches from the bottom here to the top of the spear, and about 25 inches from the front to the back with the platform here fully extended. Normally he would be laying on the ground flat, but here, just so I can spin him and kind of show off his detail, here I have him just raised up on this platform. You can see here you get this nice little kind of cave view into the center of the temple. Here's his Headmaster that can stand there. And just like all the other modes, these claws can be moved around, they can be rotated. These little arms can be rotated if you want to move them in and out of the way. Same thing with these platforms. Just a really cool looking base mode here overall for this version of Black Zarak. Nice and solid. The spear looks nice. Just really cool. And here's a closer up look. Again, that is base mode here. You can see there's these little gun platforms here that you could put little mini bots in, and they do rotate. These rotate, etc. Just, very detailed, very cool play pattern here for this giant base mode. So let's go ahead and take a look at comparisons for Devil Stinger here. In the previous Pandinus video preview, we compared this mold with some other taller figures like Generations Metroplex, MakeToys Metroplex, and the like. And so we'll get a bit more thematic with comparisons this time. With Black Zarak being part of Super-God Masterforce, we'll show them off some characters from there. So here we got Takara Legends Super Ginrai, and we've got deluxe class Getaway, or Lightfoot as he's known in Japan. And you can see here how this version of Black Zarak kind of stacks up with Generations Classics figures. And I think this is a really good scale here to kind of show off how this might be a really good fit for a Super-God Masterforce or Classics version of Black Zarak. And now a comparison with the upgraded version of Ginrai. You can see here God Ginrai with God Bomber attached next to Devil Stinger, and how these two look nice side by side as kind of updated takes on Super-God Masterforce characters. Devil Stinger's really nice version of Black Zarak. Another display option here for Devil Stinger is with MakeToys' own line of figures for their Cross Dimension line. Cross Dimension is their own universe and own take on kind of classic characters like Prime and Megatron. So here's Striker Madness, Rioter Despotron, and Striker Noir. And you see these kind of stylized, more updated takes on these characters that are more posable, kind of match what they've done with their version of Black Zarak here at the top. So if you wanted kind of a monstrous addition to the Cross Dimension line, I think Black Zarak could fit in there quite well. And there actually is some nice fun play pattern stuff between Rioter Despotron and this version of Black Zarak. Another little fun play pattern here for Devil Stinger is you can take Rioter Despotron in his pistol mode here. And there aren't any pegs here, but the hand on Devil Stinger is strong enough to be able to hold and wield Despotron here in his gun mode. And so you can get some nice, interesting poses set up here with the two figures together. Again, nice, massive figure here. A lot of fun posability options here for Devil Stinger and Rioter Despotron. And here's a fun little fan mode you could do with Rioter Despotron. You can kind of repurpose Devil Stinger to be a giant temple/throne for Rioter Despotron. And it's, it's a fun little feature here that you can kind of get him set up. It looks kind of cool to see Rioter Despotron here holding his evil matrix on his giant throne here. Some final thoughts here for MakeToys MC-03P Devil Stinger, or their reuse of their Pandinus Scorponok mold into Black Zarak. Of course, Black Zarak is one of those rare characters that few of us have good toys for, due to just how rare he was. So it's nice to see this nice new update, repurpose of their remold to give it this really striking version of Black Zarak. And whether or not you want to add, it to your Classics/Generations line, or you want to add it to your Cross Dimension line to kind of make scenes like this, it's kind of up to you. He fits both ways with his nice bits of detail and posability throughout. So Devil Stinger here is currently in stock at the Chosen Prime. If you'd like to add this version of Black Zarak to your collection, it's a very excellent toy and comes recommended, so take care.